Well, so the newspapers are in. We start with some messages, and then we look at what the stories are on the front and back pages.
Okay, so I've got a message from Mustafa Tim Tony in Tamale. Gumani, and he says, good morning to you, Mama V, and my lovely Pastor
Mustafa
Roland Walker.
Desiba.
You people are doing incredibly well. I always love your inspirational messages. That's what you say. Thank you very much, Mustafa, for doing the watching and loving our Pastor Roland Walker here. From our friend Benjamin Avula, who is in Akuse, says, Roland, why do you allow Mama V to be touching you on stage? Ooh. Hey, really? You're married, though.
Oh. Darling, darling, darling. Oh, no, it's okay. It's just for the, it's for the show. We need to have some camaraderie in between
but did
us.
I touch you?
And I think that's the connection. I think I touch you a lot more than you do. So that's why she's too hard. I keep telling people she's too hard. She's like kako. I don't know whether in Tamale you know what is kako. Or let's say, those dried cow legs that you tend to export to Techimine, the market. She's like that. Hard.
Hey, me and you.
Too hard.
Okay, Abdul Martino in Wale Wale says, good morning, Mama V. It's not a good thing to hear that Danida is folding up in Ghana, but it's not surprising because our politicians have always presented the economy in a way it is not. God save Ghana.
Did they say because of the economy?
Well, I mean, if we're getting better, if we're doing well, because all these people, remember, they've got targets. Their being here is to see that we are at a certain level. So when we reach the level, then there's no need for them to still continue
You've
staying
got a
here.
point.
They can give the help to another country.
So it means we don't need it. It means we're okay.
This person says about what I said yesterday. As for the assembly, we followed them for about 5 years now, and they will not listen because none of them stay in Gushegu here. So I'll be glad if you get the DC, Honorable Alhaji Al-Hassan Fuseni too. I'll soon get you pictures of how women and school children go around searching for water. So remember, this gentleman, Idi in Gushegu, brought to our attention the fact that there's no water in Gushegu. And then we directed him, I think, you said he should get in touch with the assembly because he was talking about the member of parliament, and then we said that the members of parliament are not supposed to be. They have no
business
exactly,
to be attacked.
But they could be the middleman. And okay, so he's coming back with feedback on that. Okay, so he says he's been following the assembly for 5 years now, and they will not listen. So we will do well. I mean,
Gushegu, what? We need to call the
Honorable
MC.
Alhaji Fuseni is our own friend who is always available.
And if you have the number of please try and WhatsApp it to us, and then we'll try and do the call. Just like with the one we did for Kuresi that morning, and because we know that the Kuresi story was started by our correspondent in the Upper West region, Rafik Salam from Wa. And then he did what he did.
Okay,
we also did what
a very last one, then you can come in with a paper. This one says Koli Klote. Is it Klote Kole or Koli Klote? You can use it either way, right? Klote Kole. Will be a nice place to be on 7th November. Both parties are not certain on their candidates. It's from Robert Avajida, assemblyman for Nkwanta. Yeah, that place is, I don't know, maybe even before 7th of November. It's an interesting place.
So it's a boiling sport. Huh? Well, let's look at the Daily Graphic. Has on the front page, FPSO Mills arrives. And I love this, FPSO. Wow. I'm sure this one is by
So FPSO Kwame Nkrumah is not running.
It's not going to run for 2 weeks. They've given us a date. What is the date then?
FPSO Mills
just came in.
Okay. What does it mean, really?
It's sailed into the waters of the Jubilee, and you can see FPSO. Wow.
What's happened to the emergency badge?
The emergency badge. But this one is not it's for production of oil.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, are we still in the emergency mode or?
Yes, we are. We're still using the badge.
Oh, okay.
There's supposed to be a second one that's supposed to be in, so I'm sure before the elections it will be.
But this is for oil.
This is for oil. The first two is for oil. This is for drilling oil. And we have 2 arrested for snatching policeman's money.
Well, they are brave.
Charlie and Roberts can be there. Look at their faces. Please give them close up so that their neighbors identify them well.
But they are suspects, aren't they?
Sure.
Or they were arrested.
When we all do something, we're all suspects.
Were they in the process of the snatching?
2 arrested for snatching policeman's money.
Okay, so these are not.
You are brave. Brave. I know armed robbers, they don't like stealing soldiers. Okay, policemen, they like stealing policemen, but this one I think it
But
was.
I've heard armed robbers go to police stations to go and steal.
Some strap phone. So you need your own stream, but to bit more about while we feel it. Stream man, or try say. And this is what they did. Apparently, 2 persons who allegedly snatched 7,700 Ghana cedis from a policeman and sped away on a motorbike were arrested after a private vehicle driver chased and knocked them down from the motorbike. Now, I have to give this. I keep telling you, for me to get a new car, a new house, and another car, I keep telling you, when you get the alarm, please call me on 0244 212 225 221 so that I can use my car, come and chase them. And this is what the private, same thing like the thing happened and the taxi driver was awarded Mama V. And apparently, these are their names: Michael Diala, who is 43, and Godfred Nwewu, 22. The 2 Nigerians targeted the policeman who had gone to withdraw the money from a financial institution at Community 1 near the main harbour roundabout in Tema. And after snatching the money concealed in an envelope, the suspects, who reside at Chisco Station at Kwame Nkrumah Circle in Accra, what a nice way, from Accra to Tema, sped off on the motorbike, meandering their way through the heavy vehicular traffic. However, luck eluded them when the driver, in response to a distress call, pursued and knocked them off the motorbike with his car. Sensing danger, Nwewu scattered the money on the ground and took to his heels, but he was apprehended by an angry mob who later set the motorbike on fire. A total of 6,340 was recovered from the suspects after the incident, while a spot search conducted on them revealed a knife on Nwewu. The incident is the second daring adventure in many months after a similar one in which a taxi driver on January 9 exhibited the same bravery. Only that this time the private person has not been known. No car yet. I'm hoping that it's not a Land Cruiser, because if it's Land Cruiser, we can't buy that one. If it's my car type, that one we can easily buy. And then we have back page. Let's look at this. 188 kilos of weed in Tampe, Igbo, Egbe, at Nima 441. Igbo, Egbe, weed in Tampe. Look at this one. And we want to legalize this one. In Sac. And look at the suspect's name. Face.
I'll have a frank conversation on this one of these days, because what are the benefits? I think we should be having a conversation on why do people use it. They've got some benefits. There are health benefits as well.
Yeah, I know. For example, for those who have a lot of cancer and feel a lot of pain, for all the things that they give you, morphine and all that, doesn't tend to soothe your pain. And so I've had by experience people tell me that if they're in pain, they take it, kind of soothes them down. The thing is the addictive nature, in which sometimes gives you some psychotic problems or tendencies. But there are some who smoke and they become so calm. I can imagine. You see how I'm very hyper. I smoke it and I'm calm. I come onto the show. My everything will be very soft. I've smoked Igbo.
So I expect a conversation around this very soon.
And then there's a last one.
We will not be judging, we're just opening up the issue.
And there's a last one. You know, Latif Idris did a story some time ago on the ferries that were used on the Akosombo, or is it the one?
I think when the bridge was not accessible.
Yes, now they've been handed over to the Volta Lake, so it can be used in some other areas.
I think the fear was that it was just sitting there rotting away. Yeah.
Fantastic. Once it was...
so now it's been handed over.
Yes, we'll find that story and play it to you, and then we'll read the story adequately. And I think it's a very good measure. We'll also get in touch with the Minister of Roads and Highways, and that's a good thing as well. If we have the story too, we'll try and play it over. Very good thing.
All right, the Chronicle newspaper front page, Dumsok costs Ghana $3 billion. Revelation made by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That's the banner headline in the Chronicle newspaper this morning. Also, Chiefs halt, creates loot and share contract. NDC go haywire over Nana. These are the headlines on the front page of in the front page of the Chronicle, but my interest is definitely the chiefs halting something that we all refer to as create, loot and share. Very interesting story. It says that the chief of Kabonwule in the Nkwanta North Districts of the Volta region, Nana Euretu Wura Chiakun II, and his elders have rejected a contract awarded by the district assembly to re-roof a classroom block, which roof was ripped off during a rainstorm at an estimated cost of 40,000 Ghana cedis. The chief and his elders suspect the cost of the roofing has been inflated and that using 40,000 Ghana cedis to roof a single classroom block was unreasonable. To them, the money could have been used to build 3 classroom blocks with the community providing communal labor. That's the spirit, y'all. So they decided to halt this exercise. Come again, and I love this. This is what we are all supposed to be doing. If we all see to it that our monies are not misused, we'll be doing a lot of things with the little money that we have. Kudos to the chiefs and people of this particular area, which is in the Nkwanta North Districts, the Volta region. Congratulations to you, Chief of Kabonwule in the Nkwanta North District. Roland.
We want to look at the Daily Guide, Mama V. It says bombshells, Zanato can't vote, says Electoral Commission. You know what I find fascinating about this story? Let's say that's the gentleman who is a member of parliament currently, Ismail Ashite. Ismail Ashite gets his way in court, and so, well, he gets a rerun for the election. We're going to have limited registration exercise next month.
Yeah,
the lady will still register. So by the time that the party can decide that, well, in May, we'll do the rerun in May.
Yeah.
And so the woman would have been holding a voter's ID card.
Exactly.
Doesn't vote. You know, the constitution of the NDC states clearly that she should have been active in the constituency 2 years before. It did it, and then it also says that she should be a registered voter. Okay. Well, she could have been active, maybe not a registered voter, but there's even no precedent. All those people who stay in Abutre. They vote through the UN missions, etc. And the next time we see them, they are in Ghana doing the elections and things like that.
Yeah, but
they really don't have constituencies, do they? They may be registered voters, but then they don't have constituencies.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If you're registered, you're registered somewhere.
Yes, but I'm saying that is not the only criteria.
Yeah.
It means that you also should have been active in your constituency. So they may not necessarily have been active in a constituency because they don't have a constituency in which they have a polling station. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So they may not have met one or the other of the criteria. Okay? Now, this is what happened. This is how it gets fascinating. So that at the end of the day, Ismail Ashite, who is a member of parliament, I feel would have been wasting his time all along. Because the courts, now they are going to open the case up. They'll look at the merits or demerit of it, and then they'll give a ruling. At the end of the period, by the time they do the limited registration, I think, which is about a month and something, she would have gotten, and she could have gone the first day and then get her ID card.
Yeah.
And she's a registered voter.
Who has power over the rules? I mean, the party rules. Would the courts have any power over what the NDC? Usually,
what the parties do, for example, I know for the MPP, if you're a registered voter, so you have to choose. You have to choose a constituency and a polling station in the constituency. So automatically, once you are a member of the party, you automatically have a polling station.
Yeah, I get you. But I'm saying that as part of the rules for the NDC coming into these primaries, they had some regulations. You have to be registered. You have to be blah, 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 guidelines. I'm saying that, do our courts
recognize that as law?
Have right to judge what is contained in their rules as a political party? Because in the end, they said you should be a registered voter, you should be this, you should be this. But speaking to the chairman of the Greater Accra NDC, I think when this issue came up, he said, you might score high in some other areas, and this may not matter.
That is why I said that there are a number of benchmarks that you need to meet. Okay, and one of them is that you need to be a registered voter, and that is in consonance with what the Constitution says. Okay, and then also the second is that you should have been active 2 years prior. But I'm saying that for all the things and the benchmarks that they set themselves, you could have been one a registered voter, but not active 2 years prior. But you may have met the others. But it doesn't mean that because you've met being a registered voter, but not active, you should not be a contestant for the election. So too, if you are an active member 2 years prior, but you're not a registered voter prior to the very primaries you were about to hold, I think that having met a lot of the criteria and the points that is aggregated, that shouldn't make you not become a candidate for that primary that the party wants to contest. I think it's a bit discriminating. They need to take a relook at it.
Well, we'll look at how this impacts on the bigger case that is in court.
What about, for example, those who are in the UK, who are members of the NDC, they are in the branches, okay? And they may not necessarily be members, they may not be registered voters, because by the criteria for you being a registered voter, you should have registered here or become a diplomat sent out there. So you can have a member of the NDC who is in the UK, but it's not a registered voter, but is an active member of a constituency locally.
But I guess the advice is, if you're somewhere and you've got ambitions, then you must also concentrate on what is required of you in the country.
I think that your contribution to the party should be the topmost priority over whether you're a registered voter prior to the primary.
That'll be interesting. We'll see how the court rules on this. You've got some other papers?
I think we'll just run through this. Ghanaian Times has second FPSO in, same as the Daily Graphic. NDC pulls out of Ebuakwa North by election. Robert Ganda at Guolu. Goro Boy charges 900 Ghana cedis for fake license. 200 acres of weed destroyed in Tampe. And look at this guy's face. And Kowu Ridge Water Project ready soon. Okay, so those are the stories we have, Mamavi.
All right, that'll be it, really? Okay, let me read some messages. This one says, I think Ghana's independence is meaningless and visionless, so we should better stop wasting resources in celebrating it. A reminder question from Mumuni Nara Rural Bank in Paga. So I've been asked the question, are you married or single? And it's from Mumuni Nara Rural Bank in Paga. I am very much married. Thank you very much for asking. This one says, okay. This one says, Mom, please help us to get to the president because we have been employed by GES from 2012 September till date and have not been paid. They always give us fake promises. We need our monies by the end of this month. We're calling on Joy News to help us reach the authorities and know what is happening, please. Okay. You're asking us to also do a follow-up. We'll do a follow-up on this, definitely. Roland Walker is going to look at what the news portals are.
Let's look at MyJoy Online. Formerly, that's where we tend to all the time. And you have stories about businesses lost over what it should not be losing. And Marvi, I think we need to take a break. What do you think?
Yeah,
technology is failing us.
Okay, so let me read this one. Good morning, Marvi and Roland. You're really doing a wonderful job. Okay, thank you. It's from Red One in Ejira. It says, I never knew Roland could speak good to you. Yeah. Okay, so we'll come back and share a lot more of your messages here on the show. We've got to take a break now. Stay with us. You're watching the AM Show.